Can I have a kiss? Thank you. Can I have another kiss? Thank you. Oh. What do you say?
Hi.
Hi, good morning. I'm dropping the little girl off at school. It is Tuesday. Then I'm gonna stop by the library because it's the soonest or whatever. I'm filming this Sunday. I'm gonna bulk film, which it will include my Asian readathon TBR.
Pocket.
You got a pocket. My Asian readathon TBR. So there's a few books I would like to get from the library for that, as well as Pages and Panels is hosting.
I got the app on my backpack.
She has an app on her backpack. Is hosting a manga graphic novel readathon in the middle of May, so I'm going to, like, you know, intersect the two. And that's it. So I'm going to take you to the library. I don't really have much else to update. I read, I'm like at 150 pages in God's Grave, and I finished My Sister the Serial Killer, so I'll give you thoughts on that later. But I'm going to go to the library, go home, work out, eat, and then we'll see what happens. Bye. Can we say bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, hello. I'm a little bit behind on everything. So I'm gonna do a quick update because I haven't really done an update probably this week at all. So I finished My Sister the Serial Killer by oh my gosh, why I can't remember. Oyenkin Braithwaite. I'm gonna put her name down on the bottom. I read it on audiobook, so I don't get to look at the author's name enough when I'm listening. Oh, you have poopy butt. To keep it in my head. So I read that. I gave it a 4-star. It's probably more of a 3.5, but I liked it enough that I bumped it to a 4. The audiobook was very short. I think in total it was 4.5-ish hours, and I listened to it on 2x speed, so it didn't take me long at all. But that I'm counting for my contemporary, which is Muggle Studies, which means that, well, I'll get to that in a second. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I was engaged the whole time in the audiobook, which isn't very common for me unless I've already read the story I'm listening to. But I also think that due to its shortness, we didn't get enough time to really care. And it had such a great premise, like the narrator's sister kills all her boyfriends, and the narrator helps her out. And it was cool, but like there just wasn't enough background, I guess, to make it like a better read. You know what I mean? I'm like a little bit, I need to like eat food. I'm feeling a little woozy. In any case, then because I had intended to read Warcross as my like set in the future for divination, but I just don't think I'll have the time, and I'd like to push it back to Asianathon anyway. I knew I needed to get something else in that if I wanted to do all 12 of the owl prompts. So I read a book, a graphic novel. What is it called? Hold on. It's called Crowded by Christopher Sabella, and it is a graphic novel set in the future where there's like a lawless part of the internet. People found a loophole where you can put out a hit on somebody, and as long as you get enough backing monetarily, people can legally kill whoever has the hit put out against them. But there's X amount of days in which the hit has to happen. If you get past those days, you can 1, no longer be killed, and 2, no longer ever have someone put a hit on you on this website again. So the main character has this hit put on her. She picks up like a person that for a living is a bodyguard for people that have hits put out on them, and it's just kind of their adventure in this world trying to save this main character, because now her hit is up to like, it keeps rising. She becomes like the $1 million girl, and then it's like 1.5 million, now it's $2 million, and most hits get a couple $1,000s, and she doesn't really know why so many people have backed it. And that's kind of like the running story. You don't really know her background, why the hit happened and why it's grown so much. And you don't really know a whole lot about the person that's like bodyguarding her. It was really cool though. It has rep, it didn't really specifically say, but definitely queer rep in the books and diversity, and I really enjoyed it. The art was cool. My only thing is that it was a little annoying at times, where like the main character that's got the hit against her makes really stupid decisions again and again and again and again. And like, if I was her bodyguard, I would be like, fire me, I don't want to do this anymore, you're an idiot. And then they threw in kind of like a random moment of, I don't know what my kid's doing, random moment of like love story that I didn't like that. It didn't feel right. So I gave it a 4-star. It was still pretty good. And last update, because my groceries are coming, I just got a text message. I am reading God's Grave. This is for the sequel, and I'm at page 260 something of like 454. So doing well. I'm hoping to get this done by the end of the week so I can read The Weight of the Stars, because that will be my very last prompt for all 12 of the owl prompts. And that's my update. Sorry I'm so all over the place. The last thing I hope to get to is Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. Ooh, if I have the time to. I'm gonna go change my kid's diaper and then get my groceries. Okay, bye! Like my crappy yellow kitchen lighting. Let's see, do I have to scoot? All right, well, quick update. I didn't feel like sitting down at my desk because I am cooking and cleaning. Quickest update. I've got probably about 90 pages, give or take, left of God's Grave. Hopefully I finish that today so I can start The Weight of the Stars by Kane Crumb tomorrow night. I'm going out. Weird, I know. I don't go out of the house, but a friend of mine from my old job before I had kids is finally leaving the company, which my husband still works for, so celebrating that. And I haven't seen him since he got married in like October, so that'll be nice. And that means that I can't really read tomorrow night. So I'd like to really get that done because I want to rip through The Weight of the Stars, which should be an easy and quick read if it's anything like The Wicker King, which I think it is in format. So I can get to Wicked Saints. God's Grave, in my opinion, is better so far than Nevernight. I'm really caring about the characters. I'm realizing right now the clip is probably gonna get trashed because I put the dishwasher on and it's very loud. All right, I'm gonna go just in case that's the case. All right, bye. Mia, what the fuck? What a joke.
What?
Who's that?
Not so.
All right, guys, I gotta talk for a minute, okay? What is up, guys? Yes, I have not.
I got the phone.
Okay. Yes, I have not taken my hair out since last night. But here I am. And the reason I'm finally doing an update today, which is Saturday the 7th. She always tells me to chill down. The reason I'm finally updating is because I finished my 12th and final book for the owls, and that was The Weight of the Stars. But before we get to that, I should back up just a little bit and talk a little bit about God's Grave, because I don't believe that I did an update after finishing it. And I finished it in one day I didn't read it all in one day, but I had quite a bit to go. No! I don't remember what I was saying. God's Grave was
taking its diaper off.
This is better than Nevernight. I liked Nevernight a lot. I gave it a 5-star. I called it a soft 5-star. This was a solid 5-star. This is my favorite book of the month so far, hands down. The last like 50, 75 pages, I was gasping. I was tearing up. I cried a little bit. I gasped some more. I was like kind of sad at the end of Nevernight because I'm like, oh, I get it. I understand why people liked it, but I guess it's not as impactful to me as he's trying to like get my plant. Impactful to me is like I'd hoped based on everything that, you know, people say about Nevernight. It was still very good, but God's grave, I get it now. And I can't tell much about the plot because it is a sequel, and the sequel depends very heavily on everything that happens in Nevernight. So really can't say anything about it except that it was good. This was the sequel prompt, which was for potions, I think. Now, I picked up last night then, or yesterday during the day, The Weight of the Stars by Kay Ancrum. I was lucky enough to win a signed edition by Kay Ancrum herself on a giveaway she ran. Now, hold on, my baby's being a pain in the booty. You're a pain in the butt. Can you just chill with me for a minute? Are you cute? Are you cute? I love The Wicker King. I believe I gave it 4 stars. I went into this with very high expectations because basically everyone I know that has read it, which is Mel from Mel to the Any, Julie from Pages and Pens, Destiny from Howling Libraries, Madeline from Novel Inc. Everybody 5-starred this. I think Madeline gave it a 4, but everybody loved it. Loved it. I liked it. I think it fell short compared to Wicker King. I didn't think the characters were connectable. That's not the word I want to look for. I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy a lot of what happened. I thought there was a lot of plot progression with no reasoning and reactions and actions that didn't make sense. And I didn't believe it. I don't know. I hate that that's how it is. I went into this with high expectations and I feel so lucky to have won a copy of it, but I'm not gonna let that sway my view on it. And it's that it was okay. I love Kay Ancrum's writing style. I like the short, choppy chapters, but I didn't really get it this time. There's like headers for every thing that's like a countdown, and I don't know the relevance. So that was 17 hours. That was 17 hours. The next one's 32 minutes. The 7 hours. 4 minutes. I don't know if there was relevance to it at all, if it was just like a space station countdown. That I don't know. What I do really like about Kay Ancrum's stories are you're getting so much diversity. You do see August and Jack, and I can't remember her name. I don't think they ever use her first name in this book, and I'd have to go back and look, but they're in a poly relationship and they have a son together, and he's one of the main side characters of the book, the son is. So you get representation for male-male relationships, female-female relationships, all different kinds of religious backgrounds and race. But I didn't believe the characters from the main group of friends and how they responded to each other and how they got together to the adults in their world. Just nothing really made sense to me. It didn't feel real. I sound like I'm ripping the book apart, but it's just because it was like one of those feelings that carried with me through the whole book. But I liked it and I read it all, and 3 stars is not a bad rating. It's just not a fantastic rating. And I think part of the problem is that it piggybacked off of such a rich adult fantasy, and then we're going into YA contemporary, and it's a very jolting experience that maybe it weighed in, but I can't see myself rereading this and making a different conclusion from it. So yeah, I mean, it was okay, and I'm sure other people would really love it. I went into Goodreads and I looked at reviews, and I am the odd one out, it seems. There were very few it was either 5 and 4 stars across the board or people 1 or 2 starring it. So that's my update. I mean, again, I'm not saying don't read it. You should read it. Nobody likes you. I'm just kidding. Everybody likes you. He's teething. He's got a tooth coming in. You got a tooth coming in. Tooth. In any case, that's it. I read all 12 books. I mean, they weren't the ones that I went in expecting to read. 4 of them, I believe, changed, which isn't bad, a third of them, but I'm proud of myself. So coming up soon, I already have my very tentative May TBR planned out. There won't be, yet again, a TBR cart pull because all of May is Asian readathon, and I'd like to read almost entirely Asian written, inspired, character-driven books, with the exception of You Can't Climb Up on That Desk. You can't. With the exception of Aurora Rising, but it's possible. It's gonna be a bitch to edit. I'm at 11.5 minutes and most of it is yelling at children. Okay, so I'll have that TBR up soon. And it's going to be there'll be like a segment of books that I intend to truly get to, and then just a plethora of books that I would like to get to through the month, because I want to show you what will 100% manage the challenges, and then all the other books that could fill in just to read through the month. I intend to, Pages and Panels, Natalie over at Pages and Panels is hosting a like graphic novel-a-thon at the end of May, and I will be partaking in that too, kind of dual doing Asian-a-thon in that. I wanted to take part in Mental Health-a-thon that Nicole over at A Beautiful Chaos of Books is hosting, but I'm just not in the right mental place to seek out books about mental illnesses. Right now it's snowing. I've been pretty mentally and emotionally drained today. This morning, I really just didn't want my husband to go to work because I was so overwhelmed with the children. Finn has started climbing on everything. When I say everything, I mean that I will like change laundry, which is in this room right here, and come out and he'll be standing on this, or I'll go to the bathroom and come out and standing on the media center. So quite literally the only time I have to do things where I'm not holding him is when he's strapped into his high chair. So cooking, cleaning, eating, all of that has to happen in like 15-minute spurts 3 times a day. So my my ability to handle it has been rough lately. Here he goes right now. My ability to deal with it is straining, and I'm struggling with it. But my husband has the next 4 days off of work, so that'll be a nice little vacation. And in that time, before the Asian Readathon begins, I would like to get to and probably complete Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan. That is my plan. That is my goal. It gives me 3.5 days to do, and I'm gonna try and do it. Otherwise, I'm gonna play Last Stardew Valley to get my mind off of everything else. Okay, bye. Peace. Bye. What's up, guys? I haven't updated today because I've been working all morning. I cleared out my entire closet of all of the clothes that my kids have grown out of, except for like Ollie's old stuff that Finn will wear eventually. My clothes, my husband's clothes, I Marie Kondo'd that shit. So we're running some errands, which includes getting all of my books from my last unhaul to Half Price Books, which is where we are right now. We're gonna go in and see what I can get for them, probably pick up a book or two, I'm sure. And I've got to run to Trader Joe's, and then we're gonna go to Goodwill and drop off tons of bags of clothes. I think I have like 10 or 11 bags of clothes. I got rid of a lot of stuff and it feels really good, but I haven't read a lot today. Just this morning, I'm reading Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan, and I really like it so far, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm only like 45 pages in, so I can't say much about it. All right, Ollie, you ready to go in?
Yeah.
All right, bye. All right, I just got back from my errands, and I did pick up a couple of books at Half Price Books because the prices were right. And so I got Victoria Schwab's City of Ghosts in hardback, which is cool. I have read this, and I do want to own all of Victoria Schwab's works, so oh, look at the little kitty on there. that up. My son got a Darth Vader and the Princess book. You guys know what I'm talking about? I don't know. He already has the Darth Vader and Son one. And then I picked up The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know that Cody from Cody's Book Corner recently read it, I think for the Owls, and really liked it. And she and I have such similar taste that I figured I'd check it out. They only had book 1 in this style, this like minimalist style. They had books 1 and 2 in like, I would imagine the American-esque covers. I don't know. I think it's being turned into a movie, so excited about that. It was pretty cheap. So. And then one that I'm really excited about because it's still like $18 online for the hardcover, and a book I had been looking for a while. I already just put it across the screen, but that's The Sisters of the Winter Wood. I haven't seen a lot of it about it on BookTube since the release, but before the release I was really excited about it, and I guess we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's about witches possibly, and I think they're like Jewish witches? I don't know. We'll find out when I get to it. But I love the cover. I used to go to Barnes & Noble and pick it up every time, but the list price is $27, and that's that's a hefty fee. Yeah, that's the 3 books I picked up today. Impromptu, but I got credit for turning in 2 totes worth of the books that I unhauled in my last video. So there we go. That's it for me. I haven't read because I just got home. I probably won't read much tonight because Game of Thrones, so I'll finish up with an update tomorrow morning to close out the week. See you in the next one. See you in the next one. See you in the next one. See you later. Bye.